And now, our feature presentation.
There's nothing I hate more than posers, opportunists who see something becoming popular, jump on it, and then try to make as much money as possible without any respect for the source material or even any accolades or adoration for it. It's incredibly disrespectful. And one of the key examples of that is this, the knockoff hazelnut spreads that everybody wants Nutella to be. There's an old theory in the world of creatives that says nothing is truly original. In this current timeline that we're in, everything has to be inspired by something else or is based off something else. And there's nothing really that's completely original that came from someone's mind that doesn't have that sort of influence in it. Essentially, everything is derivative, and that's fine, you know, it's something that we have come to accept in this point in time, but come on, man, I mean, this is so utterly blatant and over-the-top ripoff, they're not even trying to hide it. And the biggest fact is, the name. Creamy hazelnut spread is like having a chocolate bar and just calling it chocolate bar. There's zero effort put into this, and zero thought whatsoever, which is, I'm sure, is a very good sign of what's to come, because they don't even care enough to give this thing a good name. They're probably not going to care too much about what's inside of it. Would you rather have something called creamy hazelnut spread or Harry's nut butter? Marketing. Learn how to do it. Everybody wants to be Nutella, but don't nobody want to be Nutella. It even comes all the way down to the actual nutrition facts themselves, which are exactly the same. 200 calories for 2 tablespoons, the fat amount is the same, the saturated fat is the same, everything is the same! When the best case scenario for your product is tasting exactly like something else, you did something wrong, and we're gonna find out exactly how horrible it is. Let's go ahead and crack this bad boy in half. So immediately the one thing that you'll see is the texture of these two things is surprisingly similar. They both got that sort of rich, creamy, dense texture that the Nutella has. And this one, surprisingly enough, is, okay, there we go. The same oily texture and all that. They're the same. They're exactly the same in terms of texture, in terms of color, and in terms of actual scent. It's a dead ringer. Whenever you're eating this kind of thing, you want to use the crappiest, cheapest, most nutritionally devoid white bread possible. I don't know what it is. Something about the worse quality the bread is, the better taste the Nutella and the hazelnut spread is going to give you. They both spread wonderfully. What you're seeing right here is the Nutella, and it spreads exactly the same as its fake counterpart. If you looked at these side by side, just based on what I showed you, you would think they're the same exact spread. And that's all well and good, but it all comes down to one final thing, that taste. How do it taste? Ah, damn it! Ah, they're the same! Funnily enough, this is the worst possible outcome I could have expected. They're both exactly the same. They both taste incredible. That creamy richness, that nuttery butteriness, and overall, it just tastes exactly like Nutella. There's no difference between them, and I've eaten a lot of Nutella. If there was a difference, I could tell it in a second. Nutella, when I needed you, you were there. When the barbarians were at the gate and the cities were on fire, I knew I could count on you no matter what. And then this comes up, this hazelnut spread, and now you want to be all buddy-buddy, and like, I don't know. Relics of the past keep us grounded in life and make us the characters that we are today. But perhaps there's something more to that. Maybe there's a sense of having an idol and having an hero that's just outdated, and there's always going to be something better coming along, and if there's not going to be something better, there's going to be something just as good. Now, does that make this not as good or not as unique, knowing that there's another alternative that does the same exact thing? No, because it was the first to do it, and you will always be a carbon copy. But I guess the lesson in all of this is, don't meet your heroes, kids. Marketing.